Well, Jamie Dimon has been piping up about politics and the president and a whole lot more. Charlie Gasparino on that. Hey, Charlie.
Jamie said.
What did he say? I mean, he first of all, it was Jamie Dimon commenting.
He was at some internal private
Right.
meeting at JPMorgan and around, I would say it was around 11 o'clock today. And he started, I guess he was asking a question about his future, whether he was going to spend it in politics or do whatever. And then he starts doing his imitation of Trump a little bit. I mean, it was interesting. You and I had this conversation beforehand. And these guys get down into the mud with him. It's kind of not a smart thing to do. He went out and he said, listen, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, this is the substance of it, that unlike Trump, he made a lot of money on his own.
Right.
You know, intimating that Trump was born on third base and thinks he hit a triple with his father giving him the bucks. And then he said that he could probably beat him, you know, and we can beat him if they were running against each other because he's actually tougher, really tough.
He said, I'm smarter than he is.
Smarter than he is, too. I remember the tough part. Did he say smart, too?
So what's going on?
And then he backtracked after that. He said he shouldn't have said this. He said he shouldn't have said it. Just shows you I wouldn't be a good politician. We do have a statement of his up there.
Right.
There you go.
Should not have said it. I'm not running for president, but he did leave that open there, and he's been dangling this in the past. But is it your sense that the bloom is off the rose between these two things? Because in the beginning, it looked like they were, you know,
I think over trade, and I think you and I reported on your show a couple of months ago that, you know, after a lot of Trump's trade rhetoric, not China per se, because I think a lot of people think that's, you know, in of itself something else you have to deal with because they're actually, you know, they're criminals when it comes to trade. But everybody else, his anti-NAFTA stuff, I think Jamie's relationship with Trump, from what I understand, when that hit the skids. And so I don't think he's been to the White House in a while.
But he's had hot and cold relationships with Barack Obama and now.
A couple things here that are interesting. Right. Jamie went after Obama on Obama's class warfare, and he paid for it, too. The Justice Department went after JPMorgan on alleged improprieties involving financial crisis activities, and they paid a lot of money, and they clearly squeezed them on the London whale trade. Remember that inadvertent trade that they lost a lot of money on, where they disclosed it right. You know, I think the reason why
they denied at the time there was any connection there.
Well, there was. Everybody knows it, and he knows it. And this is the problem with him going after Trump. You know. And this is why they try to put the genie back in the bottle almost immediately. And, you know, my guess is that's the work of his PR, his head of PR, Joe Evangelisti, who's one of the best in the business. He said, get out and let's correct the record. Because the federal government could really hurt you in ways that you don't realize it. The Fed itself, the Federal Reserve, which is supposed to be independent, but, you know, nominally is in their building. The Treasury Department regulates them and a lot of stuff. I'm telling you, he's playing with fire with this. But we should point out a couple of things about Jamie. Smart guy. I've known him for a long time. He says he doesn't want to run for president. I've spoken with about 5 of people that are very close to him say he does. So some of this comes out.
I'm wondering if
like a Freudian
success
slip
of Trump's candidacy has gotten a lot of these successful business guys to think, you know, I could do it too.
Yeah, I'm sure it has, because, you know, he was never he was never, you know, considered a viable candidate because, and then he was.
Right.
And I think it also gnaws at them. None of these guys, these business guys that I know, would ever put Donald Trump on their board of directors. They don't think he's smart enough. They don't like his business. They wouldn't even lend him money, when, you know, the Trump Organization money. That's why Trump had to go through extraordinary means. At Deutsche Bank, and we know that bank is not like the best bank right now, is one of the few banks that would lend him money. So none of these guys would lend him money because they didn't trust him from a business standpoint. They didn't think he was a very good businessman.
But they all criticize the president's demeanor and all this, but then they end up sounding this, I'm smarter than he is.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. But part of this is jealousy. They wouldn't put him on their boards. They don't think he's that smart. He became president.
Right.
Then they all think they could become president, and they have this little bit of an animosity to him. But in Jamie's defense, though, I will tell you this. Jamie's a free trader. Jamie's a pretty straight-talking guy. I know he doesn't like the crudeness coming out of the White House. My guess is that really angers him, and plus he wants to be president, and it came out today in a Freudian slip, in my view.
Or maybe not so Freudian.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. A riddle wrapped in a conundrum.
Jamie, Freud, losers.
We have a crew member here, by the way.
It's Marco's fault because he makes me do this stuff.
He does a very, very good Donald Trump. We're going to just leave it at that.